Hi everyone, it's Kelly here. Welcome to my channel if this is your first time. Welcome back if you've been before. Lovely to have you either way. On this channel we talk books. Today I am vlogging my reading day. It is a public holiday here in Australia, and so even though it's Monday, I am not at work, which is very exciting to me. Hair in my mouth. Yeah, so it's exciting because it's a Monday and I'm not working, which makes me feel yay. I'm sure it makes everybody feel yay when they have a public holiday on a day they're supposed to be working. Okay, so I have a plan for today, because what I don't want to happen today is for me to spend my entire day on my phone, which is a thing that can happen. So I want to use today as a bit of a finish-a-thon, or at least a make progress-a-thon on the 5 books that I currently am actively reading at the moment. So I'm going to tell you about these books, and I'm going to tell you where I'm currently up to, and then we will see what I can get done by the end of today. So the first book is The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. This is one I have on loan from the library, and it was a big wait list for me to get it, and I'm assuming a bunch of people behind me in the queue as well. So I'm trying to get this one done ASAP, because I want to be able to return it to the library and allow the next person to get it early. So this is a book that is told in letters, and our main character is called Sybil, and she's in her 80s, I think. It doesn't say on the back, and she did mention it at some point in the book how old she is. I'm going to say yeah, anyway, she's in her 80s, I'm pretty sure. Maybe 70s, but I think 80s. Anyway, she is a big old letter writer, and she is writing letters to and receiving letters from various people in her life, and also she likes to write to various authors, and so on. And so we are following her kind of through the letters. There's no additional prose in this book, and I'm enjoying it. So far, I'm finding it very compelling. As you can see, here's my bookmark. I'm almost done, and I'm pretty sure I can finish today. I'm up to page 220, and not including the acknowledgements, there are 267 pages. So I feel pretty confident that at the very least I can finish this book today. So that is my number one goal, is finish The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. That's book number 1. Another book that I am in the middle of is this one called I Want Everything, also on loan from the library. A different library, but on loan from the library. And this is by Dominic Amerena. I'm reading this one because it is longlisted for the Miles Franklin Literary Award, and it was just one that was available at the library when I popped in. So I'm trying to read this one so that I can also return this as well, because I have another book ready to return, and these are due through the week on Thursday. So I would like to try and get these done, because then I can drop them back at the library. I'm pretty sure these ones don't have a wait list behind, so I probably can extend them, but even so, I would like to get them done. Okay, this is a book about very, in the bits that I've read of it so far, he comes across as being a very, insipid sort of man. He's a writer, but he's, not actively in project at the moment, I guess, and he's, so he's just kind of hanging about, and he goes to a local pool, and he sees a woman who is with a group of elderly women. So this is an elderly woman, and it turns out that they are at a they've come from a nursing home to do their I don't know, aqua aerobics or something. And he's looking at this woman, he's I'm sure something about this woman is really familiar, and he eventually works out that she is an author whose photo he remembers from the book that he read as a young person. And she is called Brenda Shales. And it says, the legendary career of reclusive cult author Brenda Shales remains one of Australia's last unsolved literary mysteries. Her books took the world by storm before she disappeared from the public eye after a mysterious plagiarism case. But when an ambitious young writer stumbles across Brenda at a Melbourne pool, he realises the scoop of a lifetime is floating in front of him. The truth behind why she vanished without a trace. The only problem, he must pretend to be someone he's not to trick the story out of her. So where I'm up to, I'm up to chapter 5, which is page 40, and he's kind of convinced, this is a mild spoiler, I guess, he kind of by accident is assumed to be her grandson. Like, he goes to the nursing home, is assumed by the staff that he's her grandson, and then they let him go into her room, and then she also believes that he's the grandson because it's a estranged son's son. So yeah, like, she doesn't actually know what her grandson looks like, so, you know, she just assumes also that he's the grandson, and he kind of goes along with it, and I'm like, ugh. Anyway, I'm not 100% enjoying this so far. Like, I had heard about this book before, and I was like mildly interested in it. Like, I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. I'm not enjoying the character. Look, I'm going to give it a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to continue reading this one, but I want to make a little bit more progress before I make that decision. So I'm going to continue. You know what it is? It's okay. It's the same as with movies. You know those movies like where a thing after thing after thing after thing either goes wrong, or like the person just does something really silly, just continually does, or like goes along with something that they know they shouldn't, but they just do, and like it's just kind of like building. It's like that. I hate those movies, and I am not enjoying that aspect of it, but I'm going to see if that continues to happen, or like how it all kind of plays out. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see if I end up continuing with that one. But as I said, I'm up to page 40 on that. So we'll see if we can at least make a bit of progress so that I can make a bit of a decision about it. The other physical book that I have on the go at the moment is a poetry anthology called Motherlode, Australian Women's Poetry 1986 to 2008, edited by Jennifer Harrison and Kate Waterhouse. I like to have a poetry book on the go all the time. And this one I'm a good way through, so my ribbon marker is at page 274, and the poems go up to, the last one is on page 313. I don't necessarily want to finish this one today, but I would like to read a few poems today, because I like to kind of be able to have them, you know, swirling around in there. So I don't want to go through too many and have too many swirling around. But yeah, I'm working my way through that one. So those are the 3 physical books I've got, but I also have a book on my e-reader, and that is the book I'm reading for my Around the World book club, which is happening on Saturday. We're discussing this book on Saturday, so I would like to try and get it finished. At the moment, I'm at 39%. It's called Hadriana in All My Dreams by René Depestre, translated by Kayama L. Glover. So it's a weird book, but it's not a particularly long book. It's just taking me a while because I've got other books on the go. So I definitely need to make some progress on that one because, as I said, the book club meeting is happening on Saturday. So I need to get a wriggle on that one. And the other book that I'm currently reading is my audio book that I'm reading at the moment, called Helm by Sarah Hall, and currently I'm 2 hours and 43 minutes into that one. Let me actually see how many minutes it is altogether. This one is also on loan from the library. I can still renew it, but it expires in 8 days. So altogether there's 10 hours and 20, I've got 10 hours and 20 minutes left. So I'm 2 hours 43 minutes in. I've got 10 hours 20 minutes left. So I'm definitely not going to finish that one today, but my thought is, like, if I need to take a break from like sitting down and doing and reading, I'll put that on my headphones while I'm up and about doing other stuff. So those are the 5 books that I currently have on the go. I've given you all of my, like, where my starting point for today. And so goal number 1 is to finish the Correspondent. And then goal number 2 is probably Hadriana in All My Dreams, my ebook that I have on the go, to try and make as much progress in that one as I can. And then all the other ones I would just like to make a little bit of progress on. So we'll see how we do. But that's where we're starting from. Join me today as we do a little bit of reading on this public holiday Monday. Okay, here's the first reading thing that I'm going to do. I'm actually going to start with just reading a couple of poems so that they can circulate in my brain. And then after that, I'm going to continue on with the Correspondent. So this one first, then a little bit of this one. So the poem that I'm going to be starting on today is called Russia by Sarah Day. I do not know Sarah Day as a poet, but this is quite a long poem. It goes for all of that space. So I'm going to have a go at reading that for a little bit and probably get a couple of poems in and then switch over. I have finished the Correspondent. I really liked it. I thought it was very well written. I don't think it would quite be a 5 stars for me, but probably definitely a 4 at least. Definitely a 4. Yeah, it was really enjoyable. As I said at the beginning, we're sort of following the correspondence of this older woman. And we follow the thread. And I think the thing that is interesting about it, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, but like, because we're reading everything through the correspondence, it's like things are being revealed very slowly to us about her life and about her, why she is the way she is, kind of thing. Because she's a bit of a curmudgeonly character at the very beginning, but as things unfold through what she's telling people in her correspondence, we start to get a kind of broader picture of her as a person, and I think I do appreciate that. and I appreciate the like character, the growth and the changes and the like opening up to other people. So yeah, it was a good book. I would recommend it. I'm glad that I read it. So now what I'm going to do is I will go to my reading journal and I will write my review, my summary in there, and also I will at some point go on and update my storygraph to reflect that I have finished the book. The other thing that I did, as you know, I started off with reading some poetry, so just a little update. I'm now up to page 288, so that's where we're up to with Motherlode. So, check. Item number 1 on our plan has been achieved. Hooray. We've done the thing. I'm pleased. Even if that's the only thing we achieved today, I'm pleased. So, that's that. I have made my tea, as you will have seen in the previous clip. So I am ready to keep going. I also have snack. It is getting close to lunchtime though, so let's see if I, how long I go before having like an actual meal. Although I did only have my breakfast at like, was it 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock. So I'm fine. I can probably go without a meal for a little bit longer. So I'm going to write up my notes in my journal, and then I will, I think, pick up my ebook and try and make a little progress there. Hello everyone, good afternoon. I have now had a shower, washed my hair, I have cat, and I'm coming in with a little early afternoon update. So after I last updated you, I have been reading my ebook, Hadriana in All My Dreams, and I'm now at 64%. Let me remind myself where I started at. I started at 39%, so that's pretty good. I'm happy with that level of progress. I think I want to change direction for a little bit. I might come back to that. We'll see how we do. But I think I'm going to take a little poetry interlude, read a little bit more of my poetry book, and then if I'm still feeling in the mood for eyeball reading, then we might switch across and do a little bit of I Want Everything, because I'm just conscious of the fact that I'm like resisting picking it up, so I want to kind of be able to make my decision about it, whether I want to continue with it and finish it off, or if I am done and ready to return it to the library. So I'm going to do a little poetry interlude, see how I'm feeling. Can I still do eyeball reading? If so, a little bit of I Want Everything. If not, then I might switch over and do a little bit of my audiobook, which I also haven't done any of today. So we'll see. I will come back and let you know how I'm getting on. But right now I've got my very warm, very purry hot water bottle on my shoulder, and we're going to do a little bit of poetry together. I finished another book. I finished the poetry collection that I have been reading for some time now, and as far as like poetry anthologies go, this was a pretty good one. Normally, if you have watched any of my like wrap-ups, you will have seen me wrapping up several poetry collections, and usually I give them a 3. This one's kind of more like a 3.5 stars. So yeah, I was quite pleased with this one, and the thing that I really like about anthologies is that it introduces you to poets that you haven't heard of before. So that definitely did this for me. And if you look at the tabs, the yellow tabs were all pre-today, and the orangey coloured tabs are the ones from today. So I've actually tabbed quite a few poems that I read today. So yeah, it was definitely a worthwhile endeavour to get through this poetry collection. I just kind of got on a bit of a roll when I started reading from this book again, and ended up just finishing it off. So I'm going to have to choose another poetry book to have poetry on the go, but that's 2 down for today. And as I said, also good progress on my ebook. So yeah, that's good. I've gone from 39 to 64% on that one. So now I am going to have another go. I'm now going to do the thing that I've been putting off, which is picking up I Want Everything and seeing how I travel with that. I've made myself a snack. I have a peppermint tea. So we are ready to embark on the next stage of our voyage. So pray for me. I'm being dramatic. It's fine. I just need to get some clarity in my mind about this book as to whether I want to DNF it or not. So yeah, let's read and let's find out together, shall we? Ooh. Hello. Sorry about that. Down she pops. Hello. I have been reading from I Want Everything by Dominic Amerena. I am now invested in the story, so I will not be DNFing. I'm up to page 84, so just thought I'd pop in and let you know how I'm feeling. So, plan from here on in. I think I'm going to persist with this one for a little bit longer, and then we'll see where we get up to. Maybe I won't do my audiobook today and just pick it up another time. We shall see, but at the moment I'm in the mood to continue on with this one. Hello. I've just made myself some pasta for dinner. Just a tomato and vegetables type of sauce. And I'm going to keep reading. So I'm going to eat my dinner and I'm going to keep reading I Want Everything. Hello. I'm going to finish up this vlog, not blog, just with a little update of where I got up to. I've been reading I Want Everything by Dominic Amerena. Get the crumbs off the library book. And I got up to page 146, so let's review, shall we? I started today on page 40, so that's pretty good progress. I'll keep a note, page 146. Okay, so great outcome for that one also. There are, let me see, 269 pages in the book, so I've made very good progress on that. We finished the Correspondent, we finished Motherlode. I made good progress on Hadriana in All My Dreams, got up to 64% of the way through that book, of starting point of 39%, and I made no progress at all on my audiobook, Helm by Sarah Hall. So all in all, this has been a very successful day of reading. Thank you for helping me stay accountable to my goal for today, and for keeping me off my phone for the most of the day. So the last thing that remains is just to update my little reading tracker for the year because I finished 2 books today. So that brings us from 36 up to 38. And that is a great outcome. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today. I hope you found this vlog interesting. I don't know if this is appealing to anybody, but hopefully you found it interesting if you've stuck around for this long. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.